I got to tell you, like one of my, through Silverman, Jonathan Silverman's a good friend of mine. And so Johnny introduced me to Bob Saget.
Okay.
And so I love Bob, and people don't know that just the average fan, like how dirty he actually is with his humor and stuff. So I love when Bob was on the show, man. God, his character was so good.
Bob was unreal.
Didn't he have
Johnny Silverman?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I was going to say, didn't
Johnny
Bob
Silverman was in my first short film. Yeah.
Oh,
No way.
wow.
That's
Is that the one with David Schwimmer as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's like 1991.
Jesus. The if I remember the Bob Saget line, when he doesn't realize it's a brothel or what, and he says, "Is that I have 2 accounts here and Nate and Al's." Was that it or something?
You know what? I probably would have forgotten that now, but I mean, my best thing with Bob Saget, because Dice also. I actually wrote the forward for Dice's book.
Oh wow!
Nice.
He was a guy I saw. It was I believe it was the same HBO show. Andrew Dice Clay was writing Dangerfield show back in the day, but Dice and Bob Saget were on it. But I really knew Bob Saget, as a dirty comedian because I wasn't a Full House guy. And when I wrote the stuff where Bob's into coke and hookers and all of this stuff, he called me up and he's like, "Can we go to lunch?" And I went to lunch with Bob Saget, who is one of the nicest people
super nice
in town, or God rest him.
Yeah.
And he said, "I'll do anything, hookers, coke, anything, but you can't." I had written that he was broke to borrow money from the guy. He's like, I won't play broke. I can't do that. I have 2 shows on at the top 10, which he did at the time, Full House and
America's Funniest Videos. Yeah.
He said, "I'll do anything else, but I will not play broke." And Bob was just a good man.
I worked with Bob a million times at the Laugh Factory and on shows. And one day we were at the craft service table and he had a blackberry in his hand, like a little blackberry, like an actual fruit piece. And he was typing on it and he goes, "Frank, I can't talk. I'm on my BlackBerry." And I dropped down. He goes, "You can use that, but you have to give me credit." And every time I did the joke at Craft Service, Bob Saget did this joke, but he was amazing. All right, last question about Entourage. Gary Busey, is it true he just kind of wandered onto the set, or when he was on he was the statue and he became a reoccurring character a few times, but what was Gary Busey like? You can't control him, right?
I mean, he didn't wander onto the set, but I don't think he knew he was on the set.
There you go. Yeah.
At the Entourage premiere of the movie, which he was in, he came up to me and said, like, "You look familiar. How do I know you?" I was like, "Well, you know me from this." But Gary, he was on Victory the podcast, which was a wild experience because Gary is, as I don't want to use the wrong word because I'm not a doctor, but is fucking. Am I allowed to
You can say crazy. Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for taking my lead. Thank you.
I can curse or I can't.
You can. Oh, you're all right. Yeah.
As fucking crazy as Gary was when he was on the show, on the podcast was a whole other level of. I mean, we couldn't get him to leave. He would have moved into the podcast studio, and he's had some incidences since then. But he was, Gary said, because I was very big on my words, say them like they're written, and Gary. I mean, I've talked about this on my podcast, but Gary came in, he said, "I won't give you your words. What I'll give you is the truth." And Gary would go on for real. He would talk for 30 minutes and then we would try to figure out how to edit it all together. And it came out amazing. And I'm thrilled we got him, but it was not an easy process.
Oh, God.
Dude, they should have like a Jeopardy contest with Gary Busey and Lenny Dykstra.
By the way, similar types, for sure.
Oh, my God. Thanks for watching that clip of Punchlines with me, Frank Nicotero. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe. We live stream the show Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. And if you want to listen to our podcast, go to your favorite podcast platform. All the details are in the description below. We'll catch you on the next one.